Here we are, my last video of 2024. The time has come for my favorite movies of this year. And of all the ones that came out this year, I saw and reviewed 41 of them. But now, here's the thing that's gonna be different about this list, and probably next year's as well. I was talking with a friend about this a couple months ago, because I was like, well, my number one movie of the year is probably gonna be really obvious to most people. So my friend then gave me the idea of making it a top 11 list. And I was like, that's a good idea. So that's what I'm doing, my top 11 movies of 2024. Now, of course, it's pretty much a given that you are going to disagree with at least one movie on this list, and as always, of course, that is perfectly okay as long as you're not a bully about it, alright? There's no need for that. After all, the world revolves around differing opinions, so let's all just have fun here, huh? Alright, goody. Let's get started with number 11, Inside Out 2. I know this is higher on a lot of other people's lists, that's cool, but for a movie I was not expecting to be as good as it is, with one scene I actually didn't like, it makes up for that with one of the greatest written antagonists I've seen in a movie in a very long time. Anxiety, voiced by Maya Hawke. She was brilliant. She is what you remember from this movie. Everything about her, from her design to her dialogue to the way she moves to her little musical motif of a theme. Anxiety is the reason that this movie makes this list. Alright, number 10 is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I felt this movie was a solid start to a new Planet of the Apes trilogy. As good as any of its predecessors? Maybe not. But the way it ended, again, I thought was pretty brilliant. There's a lot of intrigue, a lot of theories about it. It's the reason I made my spoiler talk on it. Really, that's why it's on this list. Cause like I said in my spoiler talk, I'm pretty sure I solved that ending and I'm still pretty proud of that. I can't wait to see where it goes from here with Noah and with May. I'm sure we'll see in a couple of years. Alright, at number 9, this is the one I'm gonna have to defend, cause it's the one on this list that didn't get great reviews generally speaking, but I really enjoyed it. That's Red 1. Yep, I have no regrets here. Maybe it's because I don't watch a lot of Christmas movies, but I had a blast with this one. I love Chris Evans and Dwayne The Johnson's chemistry, their lines, their banter back and forth. It was really funny in my opinion. I really like the world that this movie opens up. Sure, the villain was weak, but these kinds of movies that don't really take themselves seriously, you know, the fun action spy espionage adventures, they can either be really forgettable or really memorable and entertaining. And I'm gonna remember this one. Alright, zooming into the number 8 spot, we got Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Because of course, for my fellow Sonic fans out there, this movie did it all justice. Shadow's backstory, the Sonic Adventure 2 references, the action scenes were badass, it fixed the problems from Sonic the Hedgehog 2 that we all had, it incorporated the human characters more into Sonic's story, and it brushed aside what didn't matter. Jim Carrey as the Robotniks, he carried a good chunk of the movie, and we all wish him an awesome retirement, and this movie got me going into a little mini Sonic phase. I'll be honest, I have been playing Sonic Shadow Generations, and it's pretty fun so far, and that's because of this movie. I'll probably make a video on said game once I beat it. But for now, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, it's a pretty badass movie, and I'm looking forward to seeing where the franchise goes from here. Number 7, this is now where we get into the movies that got my best rating. I guess there were 7 this year. So let's get into The Wild Robot, the most beautifully animated movie that came out this year, that's for sure. I remember seeing that teaser trailer that had the synthesized version of What a Wonderful World, and thinking this movie's gonna hit different. And it did. Great voice acting, great music, great story about protecting those you care for and learning to let go when the time comes. It's a beautiful movie, definitely deserving of a place on this list. Might just win Best Animated Movie. Okay, coming in at number 6 is the one that you know I've been looking forward to for years and years. Ever since it was announced, I was like, I can't wait for this. I wouldn't shut up about it. And that is, of course, Deadpool and Wolverine. What'd you think I was gonna say? This movie delivered on everything I wanted it to deliver. Classic banter between the two title characters, amazingly choreographed action scenes, a killer soundtrack. I mean, everything about it was just aces. The costumes, the humor. The fourth wall breaking jokes were just great. This is my favorite Deadpool movie of the 3 of them. Hugh Jackman returning one last time as Logan. I couldn't have asked for a better performance from him, seriously. And I still want to know, like, how is this gonna tie into the Marvel Cinematic Universe? If it even does. It should, because who doesn't always want more Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool? Yeah. I do, and you do too. Alright, now we're over the halfway mark. In 5th place, I got the dark horse of the year, at least for me, and that is Abigail. With this movie, I was certainly not expecting to have as much fun with it as I ended up having. It was funny, it was bloody, it just knew how to have a good time. I can't ask for more than that from a movie like this. Alicia Weir is a true up-and-coming talent, and I am officially gonna look forward to anything Radio Silence does from now on. Cause their Scream movies and now this? That's a 1-2-3 punch to me. A triple win, you may say. Still gotta watch Ready or Not. I certainly will before the sequel comes out, because this movie, Abigail, is awesome. And I shan't forget that. Okay, the top 4 movies of this year, they're the ones that really hit me in my heart. The ones where I was just like, that was a really well-made movie. It was made with love. It knew how to have fun. It was the best version of itself it could have possibly been. And those are the kinds of movies that I love best. So with that introduction made, in 4th place is Transformers 1. Transformers 1, man, easily the biggest surprise of the year for me, because the trailers didn't look good good at all to me, but it was the best brothers becoming bitter enemies story that came out this year. Better than a certain other one that just came out that totally failed in the box office because it was beat by a rodent. Had to be said. Man, oh man, if this one didn't tug at your heartstrings, the emotion was so real in this movie, dude. Yeah, the story of Ori and Pax and D16 becoming Optimus Prime and Megatron, I definitely want to see where this goes. I want to see a sequel, because this is easily, far and away, the best Transformers movie I have ever seen. It's not even close. Definitely worth giving a watch if you haven't yet. And in third place, this is the movie that was number one for a good long while before other movies did replace it, but Late Night with the Devil is not to be sneezed at. I'll be honest, I haven't really watched this movie since I reviewed it, but I still remember so much from it because it is just that memorable. David Dastmalchian gives one of the best performances of the year in my opinion, and one of the best of his whole career if you ask me. This is the kind of found footage horror that the genre was made for. It's meant to be so realistic that it's just frightening. Like, this really could be a late 70s talk show broadcast that was lost to obscurity because of what happened in it. The effects were just awesome. The story was great, and the intrigue surrounding this demon and whatever the hell's going on in this movie. People have their secrets that they don't want rising to the surface because it'll affect their image. That shows one of the darker sides of the Hollywood business, and this movie did a fantastic job of showing that, while also scaring the hell out of me. I remember the first time I watched it, it was mostly through my fingers because I was so scared, which again, that is a compliment. So great job, Late Night with the Devil. Can't wait to watch you again next Halloween. So coming in second place with the silver medal is Piece by Piece. Who knew that a biopic done in Lego animation would speak so deeply to my soul? This was another one of the biggest surprises of the year for me. But from the moment it started, I was glued to it. The true-ish story of one of the biggest musicians today, told in such a unique fashion. This movie also has a strong shot of winning Best Animated Movie. I loved the music, the voice acting was awesome, it was funny as all hell. Just myself being a musician, I couldn't help but connect to this movie on a personal level. A movie like this doesn't come around all that often, so one that accomplishes these things has gotta be high up on this list. So awesome job, Piece by Piece. Which leaves number one, the gold medal. Yeah, you already know what it is, cause it's obvious. So let's once again talk a little bit more about Wicked Part 1. The movie I have been looking forward to for 20 years just doesn't disappoint. Now officially the highest grossing cinematic adaptation of a Broadway musical of all time, so it's doing something right. And when I see a movie 6 times in theaters, cause yeah, that happened with this. I skipped Gladiator 2 to watch this again. That's not just my favorite movie of the year, that's one of my new favorite movies of all time. Cause it absolutely did Act 1 of my favorite Broadway musical justice. Cynthia Erivo is amazing as Elphaba, Ariana Grande is awesome as Galinda, the songs, The Wizard and I, Defying Gravity, Popular, What Is This Feeling, Dancing Through Life, they were all done so well. The production design, oh my god. Paul Tazewell's costumes, John Powell's score, John M. Chu's direction. This movie was made so beautifully I couldn't have asked for a better cinematic adaptation of Wicked. And yeah, this is just part 1. So you know that when marketing starts up again for part 2 next year, I'm gonna be all over that. If part 2 is just as good as part 1, then I dare say that the Wicked movie as a whole might just be my new favorite movie of all time, just period. And that is saying a lot cause I love some good ones. But for now, Wicked Part 1, yeah, it absolutely deserves to be number 1 on my top favorite movies of 2024. We'll see what happens next year. But until then, I hope you enjoyed this list. This year, 2024, was a rather special one for me, cause it marks 10 years of my YouTube channel. I still might not be getting paid well for it exactly, but I love doing this. I haven't given it up because it's just something I love to do. Literally, my favorite thing to do is talk about movies. So the fact that I get to do this even at all, that is a gift to me. And of course, I thank you all for watching my videos, and subscribing and commenting and liking and all that jazz. Even though I'm not the most popular movie reviewer on YouTube, the fact that you watch me anyway, that makes it mean even more to me. So seriously, from the bottom of my heart, a sincere thank you from me to you. And here's to an awesome 2025. May it be badass. Alright, so your top favorite movies of 2024. Top 10, 5, 3, whatever. What did you like watching on the silver screen this year? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And of course, thank you for subscribing. Peace!